Update: my ex-husband cheated on his girlfriend and I'm glad. Original post. Yesterday I got a "Hey girly" DM from an old college friend, Gina, about my husband, Rick. As far as I knew, she was living in a different city, but apparently, she moved to our city about 8 months ago. She sent me screenshots of their messages and their segs, and had selfies of them after they had segs. I've been busy at work and admittedly not spending as much time at home, but he's the love of my life and I never thought he could do something like this. I confronted Rick, and he admitted it right away. He said it was supposed to be a one-time thing. He and Gina met up for dinner when she moved, but things progressed, so they started dating. Yes, dating. She had no idea about me. He doesn't post me on his socials because his online presence is dedicated to his personal fitness business, so she just assumed he was a fit, handsome, single guy. He never mentioned me once. It was only when Gina started mentioning marriage and kids that Rick got nervous and dodgy, and mentioned trouble with his ex-wife if they were to get married. The ex-wife being me, his wife of 4 years. She mentioned this because, drumroll, she's 3 months pregnant. Thinking they were exclusive, she hasn't slept with anyone else, which means the baby is his. She googled my name and found out that not only were we together, we were married. 4 years of marriage, 3 more years of dating, down the drain. I told Rick to get out, and he tried to argue but he knew he had no chance. He's staying at a friend's house, and after lurking on Reddit for so long, I texted him my entire reason for kicking him out, and he sent an apology reply admitting to everything, so I have it all in writing. I'm still messaging Gina. She feels totally awful about the whole situation, and I really feel for her. We've actually become close in the last day or two, as weird as that sounds. But we're both in the middle of some trauma, and leaning on each other has helped. I'm leaving him, if that wasn't clear. Gina has also said she wants nothing to do with Rick except for child support. I texted him to come over tomorrow to talk, and he said he would. I contacted a lawyer this morning and sent her everything I have. She replied after about 2 hours and said this case wouldn't be a problem, basically it was a slam dunk. She also offered to mention the case to a colleague in family court, but Gina hasn't made up her mind about that yet. She's just as overwhelmed about this as I am. I'm just grateful I didn't have kids with this son of a bitch, and I'm still young and hot while Rick's a gross cheating cheater. Anyway, not really looking for advice here, I'm aware of my way forward. Just wanted to get this true off my chest. Reading the top comments before the update. Be careful. If she's not ready to talk with a lawyer at this point, she may end up marrying him after your divorce is finalized. She'll probably argue that she really hates his guts, but everyone makes mistakes and her baby deserves to grow up with 2 parents, so she'll give it a try for the baby's sake. How do I know? Let's just say that I dealt with that for over a decade at a prior job. No matter how much they claim to hate him, they'll sacrifice and keep the dude so the baby won't grow up without a father. Too real. I've read this story far too many times. They never seem to learn though. If he can do this to a wife of 4 years, he can definitely do it to a wife of 1. I wish you a safe and glorious reintroduction to singlehood. Be happy. The thought of being back in the dating pool is hard, but he always said how lucky he was to have me, and I internalized that. I'm more confident than ever being single after all this time. Good for you. Although I'd be wary of trauma bonding with his baby mama. You're cultivating a situation where you're going to be part of his affair child's life. Wish her well and be on your way. There are so many other people out there to get support from apart from his literal affair partner, regardless of her guilt. What are you gonna do? Help plan her baby shower and hold her hand during birth? Good luck, man. May he have a miserable life. That's such a good point. I think for now it's okay, but I'll certainly be limiting my contact with her for the reasons you've given. Thanks. Edit: I genuinely thank you all for the advice regarding Gina. I'll be cutting contact after she gets her test results back. Edit 2: You all were right. Gina is up to something. Tomorrow, once I've had some sleep, I'll update further. But thank you all for your advice. First update. Well, what an update I have for you all. Last night, I got into a huge argument with Rick over the phone, him calling me a bitch for breaking up with him, and plenty of other nasty things. Through the night, I was anxious and insomniac, so as per so much of your advice, I started distancing myself from Gina. She sensed this and things blew up. She went into a rage and told me she had known about me. She knew I got married through mutual friends on Instagram, My profile is private, but friends and family posted about the wedding, so Gina saw our wedding photos. Gina texted me this morning after waking up to so many messages. She called me a fake bitch who makes up circumstances and lies about details. I blocked her after that. In my post and my texts, I was as accurate as possible without divulging too many details. I was also feeling petty from lack of sleep, so I tagged Rick in an Gina story telling everyone he was a cheater, and a few people responded saying they unfollowed/blocked him. I deleted it after 3 hours, but I know there were screenshots taken, and the damage has been done. He called early this morning asking to talk, but I said everything was better said over text, so I had receipts, and he obliged. He basically said he'd accept divorce and he'd give me almost everything I asked for, namely our TV and my car, since he'd contributed to some payments. We don't have many flashy things other than our gaming consoles, and neither of us is interested in the others. This obviously isn't legally binding, but I'd imagine it's good ammo in the divorce. Rick came by before work to get a bunch of his things, and we were able to talk face to face. He apologized and asked, almost begged, for my forgiveness. Remembering comments about my dignity, I politely but firmly declined. He actually took this pretty well and asked me if I had any questions. I asked him, what the F happened? According to Rick, Gina contacted him before she even moved. As many of you suspected, she knew about me from the beginning but simply didn't care. She didn't say outright that she was trying to get pregnant, but she gloated to her friends about having unprotected sex with Rick many times, so it's definitely suspicious as hell. He said he just couldn't resist her. To be quite frank, Reddit, I'm hotter than her. There's no question. That is the one thing about this whole situation that brings me a bit of light. Oh, and as predicted by so many of you, Gina and Rick are apparently still in a relationship. They're planning on keeping the baby and, get this, 2 or 3 hours after I wrote this out, he posted the gender reveal on his public Instagram. Like I never existed. He's trying to get rent money from me, but there's not a chance in hell I'll be giving him a cent. In fact, I'll be taking nearly everything. He knows he doesn't stand a chance at getting any of the furniture that I paid for or the vinyls I bought. F him. So many comments gave great advice, and I'm so grateful. I've officially cut off Gina and I'm in the process of cutting off Rick outside the divorce. I'm living comfortably by myself in our apartment. I have a decent salary, so I can afford it, but I let our landlord know that I'll be ending the lease in 2 months. He has a studio available, but I'm not sure I'll take it. For now, I'm in contact with my lawyer, who says this whole process can be done in 6 months if everything goes well. I have a ton of hope for my future, and I truly appreciate all of you who commented on my first post. I might post a further update, or I might not. Regardless, I will get a happy ending and start fresh without him. Good riddance. Reading the top comments before the updates. I'm confused. What's this sudden complete 180 from the first post? Just how did G change? Just because you took some space to process? That makes no sense. When I started enforcing boundaries, she got hostile. I totally agree it's a 180 from the last post, she really just lost it. I knew she was a snake. She sure showed her true colors fast. The fact that he's stupid enough not to feel manipulated shows that he's an idiot. I don't think this is fair. I personally think snakes are cute. Thank you for the update. You were smart to keep most of your contact with them on text so you have proof of their actions. G tried to play girl's girl and make herself look good, but it was also flimsy. She and your ex deserve each other. Guarantee he'll cheat again. They always do. Now it's time for you to live your best life. I know you're heartbroken and you need to heal. Do everything you love to do. Watch all the shows. Go dancing. Eat all the good food. Travel with friends. Survive and thrive while they try living down their appalling actions and life choices. OP, what I don't understand is why would he be begging for forgiveness if they were already planning on being together and keeping the baby? Or was that contingent on if you forgave him and took him back or not? If it was, then she was the backup plan. She was the backup plan. Well, honestly, his plan was probably to get me to forgive him and continue to cheat. Not happening. No way. Second update, weeks later. Hey, wanted to give a quick update before I leave this account for a while. We'll perhaps check in periodically after a few drinks lol. Divorce is in the works, Gina is still pregnant, Rick's things are out of my house. To say my landlord understood would be an understatement, and I'm able to stay in my current place. Spoiler, I'm gonna end up on top. Sorry this isn't the juicy update some of you were anticipating, but the fact remains that I'm better for this whole crap show, and moving on means becoming stronger. Thanks for all your support, everyone. I've kept this login info, so I hope to update you. Reminder, you're loved and you matter. Love always. Third update, 8 months later. Quick recap, my ex cheated with a friend of mine from college and she got pregnant, and it was his. She reached out to me to let me know because apparently she hadn't known about me before, then it came out that she planned this. Honestly, it was a pretty painless divorce. He didn't fight for much since I bought most of our stuff. I left our place after my lease was up and moved about 4 hours away. My work is remote now, so it wasn't a hard transition, and I got to move closer to a lot of loved ones. Rick and Gina are still together, and they had their baby not too long ago. I don't keep up with their lives anymore for my own peace. I've been dating around a bit but not much. I've been going to therapy and working through a lot of the trust issues that came from this, but it's a slow process, so I'm not in any kind of place to be in a serious relationship. I am happy though. I don't worry about things as much, I'm able to get more work done, and I'm able to have more meaningful fun with the people I love. It's a rather boring, but overwhelmingly positive update. Thanks for reading my story. Reading the top comments before the update. Oh, he's 100% gonna cheat on her too, if he isn't already. I still remember that part where he told you, I couldn't resist, like he tripped and fell into someone else's bed. He's a gym trainer, surrounded by sweaty temptation in tight yoga shorts and pants all day long. She didn't steal your man, she stole your problematic trash that she mistook for treasure. Don't be surprised if he's already cheated on her. He has resentment built up since he got caught. Baby mama effed his nice life. Knowing he's a gym trainer, he's aware he downgraded, per OP's words. Even if baby mama found out he cheated, she isn't the type to leave with their kid, hence more incentive for him to cheat on her again. The baby mama thinks she won, but in the long run, she'll be miserable. You are so much better off. She literally baby trapped him like Glenn Close, and now he's got a baby with her. They deserve each other, and you are still young, successful, and can cut ties with the toxic people in your life. Let's face it, if their relationship started on a line through cheating, it's not exactly stable. It sounds like she was the backup plan and second choice, which is exactly what she deserves. I'm sure both of them will stray again, let's face it. I really hope you have the best life without those who don't deserve you. Last update, 3 months later. My ex-husband Rick of 4 years cheated on me last year with a college friend of mine, Gina, and she ended up pregnant. Read my post history for context. I left him, and he moved in with Gina, and they had the baby. I haven't kept up with them since. As I'm sure everyone's surprised, Rick cheated on Gina. I found out through a friend who still follows Gina on socials, because she made a post blasting him and all of his actions. And oh man, what a blast. Y'all, this was the kind of post that's once in a lifetime. Gina aired all of their dirty laundry, and it was just a hell of a post. Gina found out Rick had given her some sexually transmitted infection. She didn't specify which, but implied it was treatable, and for some reason she stayed with him. Likely because of the baby they'd just had. But later she found out he'd been cheating since before she even had that baby. Anyway, Gina found out she was pregnant again with their second baby. She told Rick, and he was so excited that they went out to celebrate. Rick got a little too drunk and made some weird comments that made Gina think something was very wrong. He'd given Gina his phone passcode, bold as heck, in my opinion. And after he passed out she checked his texts, and he had, and I quote, 2 effing beaches he was texting in his recent messages. I'm glad. I won't say Gina ruined my life, because she didn't. But she planned to separate me and Rick, and she succeeded, and now she's getting her just desserts. She's going to be a single mother to 2 young children, and it's because she was so adamant about being with my ex, even though he was a cheater. He got a taste of infidelity, and he couldn't stop, and now she's suffering. I hate it for Gina's kids. They'll grow up with a mom who craves chaos, and they won't get the life they deserve. I fear her second baby will inherit whatever STI Rick gave Gina. I hope and pray Rick will take responsibility for his children, because we wanted kids at some point and he's actually great with kids. But oh man, I dodged so many bullets. I feel kinda bad that I'm happy, but karma came for them, and I'm not one to doubt the universe's way of balancing itself. I'll just keep going to therapy, doing my thing, and keeping my peace. As always, I'll be just fine. Sounds like he got what he deserved. I dated this guy who I thought was super loyal and would never cheat on me. Then he breaks up with me out of nowhere 8 months after we met, when everything was seemingly fine between us. A year later, he reaches out to me and tells me what happened in the time we were apart. He had met this other woman at a yoga class 2 months after we started dating, commits to her 3 months later because she lied about being on birth control and was pregnant. She loses the first baby, and he gets her pregnant again even though he never wanted kids. The second baby also doesn't make it, and she goes crazy on him. Refuses to get back on her bipolar meds, kicks him out of the house they were living in, starts calling his boss saying he's a dangerous criminal, threatens to kill him and his family. He ends up having to file a restraining order against her, and told me he deeply regretted ending our relationship prematurely since we had no problems. Karma always gets people that cheat, eventually. Karma came fast for him. Not for him. For her. He'll skip along to the next woman and keep living his best life while she reaps the consequences of being the other woman. Next story. I wish I hadn't married my husband or had a baby with him. 2 weeks before I married my husband, he got super drunk and called me a bitch, saying he hated me. I should have run away at that point. But I loved him, and the next morning he sobbed and told me he didn't even remember any of it, and that he loved me more than anything. He stopped drinking for about a month or so, then started again. A year after that, he got drunk and tried to kiss my best friend in front of me. He completely went sober after that, admitting he had a problem. A year and a half later, he's still sober. We now have a daughter together. He is the provider, and I stay home with our daughter, my choice. I have a degree and can make my own money if ever needed. I knew this meant I would be the primary parent. However, I didn't know this meant I would be the only parent. He does not change diapers. He does not comfort her when she cries. He doesn't even play with her. She's 7 months old. He will smile at her when she's laughing, or hold her when I need to shower or make dinner, but the second she gets fussy, he gets visibly irritated and hands her off to me as soon as he can. He says he loves her but makes no effort to actually build a bond with her. When he holds her, he's scrolling on his phone, not actually paying attention. Then when she inevitably gets fussy from being ignored, he says she hates him. On top of this, while I'm the one taking care of her and soothing her, he gets upset and says that I don't give him any attention. Every night after I put our daughter to sleep, I rub his back or his legs. But in the time it takes me to get her down, he complains that all my attention goes to the baby. When I ask why I always have to be the one to give, why he never bothers to give me attention by rubbing my back or cuddling me or anything, he ignores me or just says that I never ask. I tell him all the time how handsome he is. He never compliments me. I asked him if I look nice, he'll say yeah. I ask why he never tells me I look pretty. He'll say, when was the last time you complimented me? I'll give him like 4 examples. He'll just go on his phone and abandon the conversation. I've asked him lately if he loves me, because he genuinely feels like he doesn't. I ask if he even likes me. He swears he does, then tells me that I don't like him. Honestly, I don't like him right now. I don't like that he comes home every day in a terrible mood. He's a teacher, he's not out here slaving away in any way that would make it understandable for him to come home acting like he's been to war. I don't like that he makes no effort to be involved with our daughter. I don't like that I'm expected to feed our baby, feed him, have his laundry done, have the house clean, and pamper him with rubs and love, and get nothing in return. I find myself constantly fantasizing about another life, one where my husband is excited to see me, excited to see his daughter, and grateful for the meals I make. I wish I had just walked away those years ago. The best time to have walked away from him was then. The second best time is now. Start planning your exit. Yep. Start planning your exit. The daughter deserves better. And you both get to counseling. You have to co-parent and he needs help.